market. I bought a whole pile of them. And let's say I bought for $50,000. And when they went to $150,000, each one I had a $100,000 gain in there, of $500,000. Mm-hmm. So by selling them and putting them into exchange, a 1031 tax, I don't know how to do it, but there's guys who do it for me. That $500,000 is enrolled into a larger, as a down payment on a large apartment complex.
See, what you're doing is you're deferring the capital gain from those homes, those rental properties, by rolling them into a bigger rental property.
That's correct. And even better than that, I have phantom losses, and I have a thing called depreciation, which I mysteriously disappear when I roll it up to a higher basis.
And this is why you need, when you're doing a plan like this, you really do need to sit down with a good CPA or enrolled agent, especially when there are tax issues involved, and make sure what you're doing is absolutely legitimate, and this is.
If I could say something, the worst advice you can get is free advice.
Yeah.
I like to pay a lot for my advice because I feel better about it. The worst advice you get is the one from your brother-in-law or your sister-in-law or something.
Exactly, and so many people, and I can't believe there is a huge advertising effort out there that says, if it's free, if it's cheap, if it's easy, and has to do with your money, it's good.
It is the worst advice you can give somebody.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy from a Honda Civic. Hi, you're on KSFO.
Hi. I just had an observation or a question that I'd maybe like to clarify.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk about cycles and ups and downs and the real estate market and that. And from my perspective, I just think it's better, don't worry about trying to time these things. Just be a long-term investor over a long time and don't worry about these ups and downs. Real estate's gone up for a long, long time, and maybe there's some small ups and downs in between, and I think if listeners try and time this, they're going to, get it wrong.
Are you in the real estate business?
No, I'm not.
You're not. Okay, Robert, what do you say to that?
I would say that's good for the average investor, but if you want to be a sophisticated investor, I said it earlier, you need to know the laws. And when the 86 Tax Reform Act came in, it basically took real estate as an investment away from anybody who's a doctor, accountant, attorney, architect, and all that. It raped them. And if you remember, there was a Resolution Trust Corporation. They gave, in my city alone in Phoenix, they gave away $1 billion worth of real estate for about $50 million. So this idea that it goes up and down, it's like any other investment commodity. It goes up and it crashes.
Exactly. So what we're saying, there are better times. Over the long term, good real estate will probably do just fine.
If you don't want to study, go long. Go early, go long, right? Huh. If you don't want to be a sophisticated investor, just come up with a cliche, buy long, go, diversify, and just do that. But if you want to be a sophisticated investor, it does entail study, and I think that's what you're saying, right, Cynthia?
Well, that's what I'm sure. A plan, study, know what you're doing, and what Jeremy was pointing out is real estate will be fine over the long period of time. You just buy a good piece of property, hold it forever and ever, it's going to be great. But what you're talking about is making this a business and to try to maximize returns over a shorter period of time.
Well, it's not only that, is that I had friends who were wiped out in real estate in 86. It wasn't just a blip. They went bankrupt. So it's not a funny thing. I mean, I don't take I'm a student of investing and a student of business. And what I take offense at is when people try and give cliches, invest for the long term, or real estate always goes up, or stock market always goes up. Well, that's not true.
Right, it's not always true, and that's why when you put your money on the line, you want to make sure you're not so leveraged that if we do have a downturn, you are wiped out. So that's part of your plan.
And if you don't want to study, then it's really best to turn it over to somebody who does study.
Yes, it is. Robert, we're going to take a little break and then back. There's a lot more here on KSFO. Stay tuned.
Dennis!
Rich!
Hey, what's up?
Well, I just wanted you to see what I got.
What?
Across
If you do your homework. Good evening, Cynthia Oti with you on KSFO. The phone number 808-5600. John from Berkeley, you have a question for Robert Kiyosaki.
Cynthia, this is John. How are you?
Just great, thank you.
Good.
Robert, I'm an investment real estate broker here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And it's my sort of observation there's too much capital chasing too little product in the Bay Area.
Yep.
You know, returns here are probably a little less than we get in a money market fund.
Right.
If you would agree, where would you invest? I've heard you're from Phoenix.
Right.
I've been exploring the Phoenix and the Tucson market.
Tucson's good.
Tucson and Phoenix, you think those are good areas?
Yeah, you know, there's always a good deal right around you. I mean, I live at the Hilton Hotel in Phoenix, and right around the corner, I mean, within 50 yards from me are condos that are part of the Hilton Hotel for about $85,000, 2 bedrooms. They rent all day long.
You live in a hotel?
Yeah, it's the Hilton Hotel.
Oh, okay.
And they have these great investments. I sit and look at them and all that. They don't fit in my plan anymore, but I cruise by them and they're rented all the time. And you know, there's just a place to park your money.
So you're investing in condos? What about bigger buildings? Apartments, commercial property?
I buy bigger buildings now, but you know, for people just starting out, there's an $85,000 condo right down the street from me. It's part of the hotel. I like it.
So is the Tucson market and Phoenix market still reasonable in terms of you know, return on investment and cap rates, this kind of thing?
I would say not.
No?
No.
Where are you investing your money?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'm in a cash position.
Uh-huh.
I'm standing aside right now. I'm just waiting because do you remember being commercial real estate in '89? California was the same way it was today.
Sure.
Remember, it's 10 years, exact peaking.
I sold a building that was that actually sold less second time around than it did in '89. I remember.
And I sit there and people are panicking. I remember '89, California very well. I couldn't touch a thing over there. They laughed at me. So I moved to Oregon. I was buying apartment buildings up there like crazy, and I sold them in '94, and then I moved to Phoenix.
So I guess the key right now, John, is patience, and if Robert finds anything hot, I'll let you know.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye. Dave from Toyota Celica, hi, you're on KSFO.
Hey, Cynthia, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good. I just wanted to ask Robert a little simple question. How can you become a millionaire in the next 5 years?
Well, how old are you?
32.
32. Are you computer literate?
Yeah.
I go internet.
Internet, huh?
In what way?
Well, it's a distribution system is what it is. I mean, I have a friend he's 28 years old. He sold his company for $28 million. And all it was an internet, he sold a mailing list as far as I could. I'm not computer literate, so I don't really know, but he got a lot of money for it. The biggest way, I'll give you the stat, 10% of the U.S. population owns 90% of the shares. And the reason is they own 90% is they all built companies, they took them public. That is the fastest way, and it's going right in you're in the hotbed of it. Mm-hmm. So, as a young guy with great ideas and, you know, like Starbucks did it on a cup of coffee, it's never been easier.
So what books would you refer people to get an education?
To build a business?
Yes.
There's a book called E-Myth by Michael Gerber.
E-Myth.
Yeah, E-Myth. Mm-hmm. It's like my book. It should be, you know, kindergarten. My book is kindergarten. E-Myth is kindergarten. But it's the basis. For acquiring real estate, I would say it's Creating Wealth by Robert Allen. It's still my Bible.
And Creating Wealth by Robert Allen.
Yeah, it's just an idea. It gives you some ideas. That's all it does.
Okay.
So you think the internet is where it's at, huh?
What's that?
You think the internet is where it's at, he said.
If you're a young guy and good on computers, yeah, I would. I'm computer illiterate.
So am I. It wouldn't work for me.
Yeah, everybody's different. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's why I really hesitate giving advice.
Yeah, it's not advice. What we're talking about here are ideas to get people to think and to understand that, and you point this out so well, so many people work for money, and when you do that, you give the power up to your employer, but if your money works for you, you keep the control and power. I want to thank the caller for his question. We have to take one more quick break, and then we're back on Hot Talk 560 KSFO. You spend so much time working and trying to earn a living. It's time you invested some time in yourself. We all understand the importance of chemistry in a relationship. Chemistry is the feeling that the person you Cynthia Oti with you on KSFO. Robert, will you be giving any seminars on investing strategies in the Bay Area in the near future? Faxes Albert.
Oh, I would love to, but I haven't anything planned. Cynthia, could I give you my long-term plan and maybe people get insight on that?
If you can do it in 35 seconds.
Right. My whole plan was just to build businesses and acquire real estate. And after I learned to do that, it was a 20-year plan, and the plan was then to take a company public. And that's what I did. So the thing I'm saying, I don't expect other people to do it, but I really want them to have a long-term plan and really seek the best advice possible.
And do it their way, in a way that's comfortable for them. Jeff, your last question for Robert from San Leandro. Hi.
Hi, Cynthia. I'm glad you're finally talking about real estate because I've been against stocks for a long time.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
I just want to point out, because I did it the real estate way, that when you sell one of those depreciated properties, you pay 25% on the depreciated amount. You never own real estate in a corporation. The 1031 costs are astronomical because you pay it on your first property, you pay it on your second property, and you pay your accommodator, and you pay your escrow.
No, I'm going to have Robert comment. We're almost out of time. Robert, what do you say?
A lot of what he's saying is true, yeah. You never hold it inside a corporation, it's true. And I don't mind paying those fees to get rid of that depreciation by rolling into another basis.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're talking about what you have actually done with your money to create your own wealth. I think what you're saying is look at the big picture and really examine your lives and say, are we collecting assets or are we creating liabilities?
Have a plan.
And have a plan. And is what we're doing fitting into that plan and getting us closer to the goal? Robert, as always, it was a pleasure speaking with you.
I really appreciate it, Cynthia.
And anytime you're in the Bay Area, look us up, Brian and I. We'd love to see you. And tell Kim I said hi.
Well, thank you, Cynthia.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. My name is Cynthia Oti. We're with you Monday through Friday from 7 to 8 in the evening. And until next time.